Hopefully this shit gets scary. I might have explained this before, but phys ed at our school is really just exercise in disorder. After some random warm-ups, the rest of the time is spent doing whatever. You're free to cause a ruckus or fall asleep. Yeah, whatever this school is, bro. Ridiculous. They ain't teaching nobody nothing over here. I'm not gonna lie. From what I've been seeing, no one's getting taught a single thing. Outside of, like, you know, when people are gonna die, I guess. You know? I'm not really sure, but doesn't the Board of Education have some sort of curriculum for this? No. Something like, when you're this old, you should have this amount of physical ability. I have no idea what you're saying, Keiichi-san. It's rather difficult to understand. Well, maybe we should learn some fucking anything. Well, you see, it's something like a rule for teachers to follow during class. Again, your schooling sucks. Maybe you weakling city folk need something like that. But do you really think us country-raised kids would lag behind in physical ability? We're better athletes than you would think, Keiichi. Yeah, I bet you be doing some crazy shit, so I'm aware of what you fellers do. You murdered this guy last chapter, so I don't want to hear nothing, bro. Come to think of it, they might be right. Yeah. If we all lined up for a race, there was a good chance I'd finish dead last if I didn't start off well. Dog. Last time, you got annihilated when you tried to run away from these guys. She got straight obliterated, dude. What do you mean? I mean, you don't know that. You don't know that because it's a different instance. A different instance. Let's start. Let's just pray that when the brutal penalty game is at stake, the 100-meter dash isn't a club activity. On that note, I watched too much television, so I'm fantastically tired. I'll be using this time to catch up on my sleep. It's fourth period and I'm completely starved. If I don't sleep now, when will I ever? As I began to sprawl out on top of a pipe, what? Mion grabbed me by the collar. Do you really think I'd let you sleep in peace and quiet? With that look on your face, it'd require more courage to try and take a nap than that. Good grief. Which means, is it going to start again? Now. Just killing time with idle chit-chat until the bell rings is impossible for us hot-blooded youth, isn't it? Shall we start a club activity? Just as I thought. It's come to this. What's today's game? Some ludicrous. Now this is happening. Taking a nap is impossible. Not just that. With this sleep-deprived head of mine, I'm as good as mincemeat. I have to get my brain into gear. Renan thinks that we should decide what today's penalty game is before we start. It's about to be something stupid again. Renan knows what's up. I've prepared something super special today. She began to announce the cruel penalty game with a grand spinning flourish. This game's real. Okay. Before she could do that, I'm sorry. I have something that I wanted to do. Of all people, it was Rika announcing her non-participation. Even rare events do eventually occur. Losing her timing, Mion spun into a top as she tumbled to the ground. What? Huh? What's the matter? Are you not feeling well? Oh, that's right. She has to practice. Oh, for the Watanagashi. Okay. Okay, so it's the finally a title card name drop thing. That's right. It's this Sunday. Rika is in the middle of a super serious training right now. I've been working too hard lately, so my arms hurt. I see. Well, there's nothing that can be done. There's no point in doing anything if we can't get everybody together. Today, I'll just take it easy. Let's just take it easy. Fraud! Fraud! I'm very sorry. But I'll try my best. Yeah, good luck. We'll be cheering you on. The last time there was a Watanagashi, somebody died. Yay! When Mion announced that today's club activity was canceled, Rika and Sadako headed off behind the school building. Only I was left alone, completely clueless as to what everybody was talking about. What was that about? Is Rika training for some kind of competition or something? Rika is a shrine maiden for the Watanagashi, so she has to perform a ritual dance. Yeah, that did happen. It's practice for that. Why don't you explain things in order? First of all, what is this Watanagashi that you're talking about? Next, what do you mean by shrine maiden? Last, what do you mean by ritual dance? Huh? Didn't you get the notice at your house, okay? Wasn't it written there? The Watanagashi festival is this Sunday. Huh? Come to think of it, I have a feeling Mom did say something about it during dinner the other day. The Watanagashi is a festival that happens at the shrine on a Sunday every June. It's very lively. Ah, I see. But Watanagashi sounds like a pretty strange name for it. Is this something like the Lantern Festival where they have a memorial for the dead or by floating things down the river? Oh, I figured you might guess that, Kei-chan. Uh-huh. The Watanagashi or Cotton Drift Festival is, as the name implies, where we set cotton adrift down the river. The cotton you see is from futons or jackets. So it'd be something like a futon memorial? They also pile futons up on the altar. I've heard of people leaving offerings of things of like needles or kitchen knives to their ancestors or to casualties of war, but an offering of futons is a first for me. What's the history behind that? Mion tilted her head pensively. I don't think there's a complicated backstory to it. The winters around here are pretty harsh, so things like warm futons and coats to ward off the cold are fairly important, I guess. Ah, I see. In other words, it's something like giving thanks to the futons that took care of you during the winter then. Then the Shrine Maiden holds a memorial service for them and set them adrift. That's what the Watanagashi is? Mion and Rena indicated that I had the correct answer with a round of applause. And you see, the Shrine Maiden performing that memorial is Rika. Oh? So Rika is a Shrine Maiden. Now that you mention it, Rika does have a mystical air about her. Right? Right. Rika is in a Shrine Maiden outfit. Okay. So cute. It certainly does seem like it would suit her. Yeah, it might be cute. Ridiculous. I finally get what you're saying. Rika is training for her performance as a Shrine Maiden then. That would be it. The Shrine Maiden has to purify a number of futons as part of the ceremony. It's practice for that. It's a lot of hard work. The Shrine Maiden has to carry a large ceremonial hoe as part of the rite, and it's really heavy for Rika. Well, Rika is pretty small. Exactly how heavy is that hoe? It's pretty heavy. Enough that Rika has been training with a mochi mallet. Wait a minute. That's way too heavy. Forget about Rika. That'd be rough for me. It's a sacred ceremonial hoe. If she dropped it by accident, it'd be big trouble. Well, it's a once a year kind of deal. All we can do is cheer from the sidelines. It'll be okay. She pulled it off last year. Really? Then the least I can do is cheer on. Even something that little would help, right? I was rather curious about exactly how she practiced. Mion laughed as she shook her head. Dog, can we get to the spooky scary, bro? I'm trying to see this man get murdered again. Leave her alone. If you go, Rika will get all cute and won't be able to practice. Huh? I didn't quite understand what Mion was saying. You see, Rika doesn't like showing people how hard she works. Okay. So just leave her be. Even the always cool and aloof Rika has times when she sweats and is giving it all. Giving it her all. There we go. Okay. Because she was always so well put together, she didn't want people to see an ungainly side of her. Yeah. It's not like I couldn't understand that feeling. All I can do is pray for her success, huh? Do your best, Rika Furude. I'm cheering you on. She murders you in the future, man. I know it. I know it. Well then. I climbed up onto the pipe and plopped down on my side and fell asleep. All right. Hooray, hooray for Rika. In order to transmit more of my psychic waves of encouragement, I'll be entering a meditative state now. Sleep. So you're just going to sleep after all? Damn. We need to rock him for that. The lackadaisical, there we go. Noontime ended up giving way to mind-numbing afternoon classes. Rebounding from yesterday's hunger, I ate too much for lunch today, leaving me in a horrible condition. I have gorged myself a bit too much. I'll have to endure afternoon classes. Keiichi, you have an amazing appetite today. Basically, you always eat like a pig, but today was a whole different level. Damn. Yesterday I skipped lunch, right? That hunger just soaked right in. This time, no matter how much I ate, my hunger knew no bounds. I get you, I get you. But really, Kay, you always finish your lunch down to the last bite. Heck, even down to the last grain of rice. With food, you show your appreciation for the person who made it by eating it, you know. If you leave any behind, it's rude to the person who put in all that effort. Hearing that, Mion's eyes momentarily widened in surprise, followed by a cool laugh. Okay. Okay, really. At first glance, you seem unruly and irresponsible, but you're actually pretty conscientious. Hey, bro. That might be surprising from you murderous fucks, bro. Well-disciplined, or something like that. Yeah, Rena thinks so too. Keiichi is a lot kinder than he looks. Both of them were probably trying to compliment me, but I had a strange feeling I wasn't being complimented at all. That's not true. I just wanted to say that there's a big gap between your appearance and your personality. And I'm saying that that's not a compliment. Hey, Sonozaki, Maebara, we're in the middle of class. How far did you get, Sonozaki? Bring your notes up here. Startled, Mion vocalized a rather easy to understand utterance. She was so enthralled in the conversation she had stopped working completely. Yep. Doing all right. You haven't progressed at all. You're in the highest grade, so you should shape up. That Mion, it looks like she's getting lectured. Poor bastard. Appearances can be deceiving, in other words. Actually, appearances might be the opposite of reality. You say some interesting things. Responding to Rena's seemingly profound statement, I turned my gaze to where Sadako was happily studying together with Rika. Are you saying that brat Sadako is actually really meek? If I went by what Rena literally said, then that would be the case. I could hardly imagine Sadako being meek and gentle like a girl in some fairy tale. Sadako's been rude lately, but just a while ago, she was pretty different. She acted really spoiled and always... Yup. Keep this a secret from Sadako, okay? That's Sadako acting so cute. For Sadako to play coy, I think that would have to be a part of some calculated plot. Even if she was to hide behind someone, I wouldn't think of it, or think it was because she was attached to them. But since it came up, I tried to imagine a gentle and Nigga, what is that word? I've never in my life seen that word before, bro. So I'm about to Google this bitch. What the hell? Coquette? Coquette. What the fuck does this mean? Definition. Because I don't know what this word is. It's hold on. I got fucking, when I'm looking for definition, I gave desserts, bro. What the fuck? I don't want desserts, bro. Look at the definition. A woman who flirts? Hello?
Coquette.
It is coquette. What the fuck you mean? Weird ass word choice here. Sadako. Yeah, what's happening? Hey, Sadako. Oh, this is like the imagination. What is it, Oni-sama? Okay. Sadako smiled cutely and walked towards me. By the way, for every 3 steps forward Sadako took for some reason, I took 3 steps away. Why are you running away? I'm not saying that shit no more, bro. Sorry, Sadako. For you to approach me with an affectionate smile on your face, I just have to think of it as some sort of trap. That's so mean. You meanie. Wah. Sorry, I didn't intend to be so mean. The weeping Sadako came closer to me. I'm a sucker for tears. Click. Clank. Huh? A bear trap? My leg was clamped down by a jagged metal teeth. Oh, you fell for it. Now for the next part. Sadako raised her hand, right arm triumphantly, and traps began to trigger one after another. This nigga imagining some crazy shit, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Suddenly, the wall sprang forward, throwing me 3 blocks away. Nigga, what are you thinking, bro? Why are you thinking a whole ass anime in your head? And there I saw a giant ball covered in spikes hurtling towards me. On top of that, in the direction of the ball would knock me was a giant guillotine. Okay. I'm not really sure, but Keiichi, you're not thinking of something completely ludicrous right now, are you? Not really. Not at all. That's a lie. You've got that kind of look on your face that says, I'm gonna be crushed by a giant spiked metal ball. How could my expression convey what I was that I was thinking that? Yeah, like in detail, by the way. Sorry. Imagining a meek and gentle Sadako is impossible right now. I'll try again when I'm in better shape. Next, I looked over at Rika, who was working diligently on some kanji drills. In contrast to Sadako, her default state was meek and gentle. If Rika came at me saying that shit, Oni-sama, you know, I'd hug her tightly. I could get used to that. All right, bro. Chill. Keiichi, you're drooling. Sorry. Then how about Rika? Are you saying that her appearance is deceiving as well? Saying that out loud, I felt a tinge of doubt. Was Rika really all sweet? Despite her appearance, she really was quite sly. Sweetly, how do I put it? Evading things deftly? I get the feeling that Rika isn't only just sweet. Her appearance is definitely deceiving. I couldn't put exactly what I was imagining into words, but Rena managed to say what I wanted to. She turned to me with an impish look in her eyes, like she was saying, you shouldn't say something like that. When Rika grows up, I'm sure she'll become an incredibly devilish beauty, with men are all wrapped around all around her finger. Okay. Don't you think that would be cool? Honestly, yeah, it seems about right. What you do, fucking manipulator, bro. Rena said that lightheartedly, but as a man, I couldn't laugh at that. The scary part about the fact was the fact that I felt like it could be true. Noticing my gaze, Rika turned towards me and let loose an angelic smile. Okay, bro. Both Rena and I, feeling as if that was directed towards us personally, had our hearts skip a beat. So cute, so cute. Rena, your nose is bleeding. Appearances can be deceiving, huh? Well then, what about our dear leader, Mion? I stared at her as she tried to weasel her way out of the scolding by the teacher. By Rena's theory, that unrefined, calculating, conniving Mion also had a side of her that belayed appearances. Yeah? That did happen. We did see that. We did see that. Then what you're saying is that Mion, despite her appearance, is actually a good person? Me is a good person. Oh, well, that is true. For now. For now. Till someone fucking dies. Okay. But what I'm trying to say is... Yup. I know what you're trying to say, Keiichi. Catching on that I was struggling to express my feelings as words, Rena smiled even more brightly. Know what? Me is mysterious, right? She's a girl, but it's like she's a guy. That's right. Mion was more than aware that she was a girl, but it was exactly as Rena said. When Mion livened up the mood, it wasn't as though she felt like a guy or a girl specifically, but a friend of the same gender. Huh. If she were a guy, we'd probably be like two peas in a pod. Although that's the same way it is right now, haha. But you see, even that me is actually really feminine. Rena, how much did Mion pay you exactly? That's not true. Jeez, I'm trying to have a serious conversation, you know. Rena began to pout. Now probably wasn't the time to joke around. Me is the club president, so she's trying really hard to lead everybody. But she's actually a very cute girl. Alright, bro. I really don't want you to forget that, Keiichi. Rena's gaze focused off into the distance beyond where Mion was. That Mion that I met at the Angel Mort was unimaginably different compared to the Mion that I normally know. Flustered and hesitated that from the unfamiliar job. It was a far cry from the brash and confident Mion. Even though she had to hurry to work, she went through all the trouble to bring me food when I was at the brink of starvation. And she did so not as Mion, but as Shion. What exactly was Shion to Mion? What kind of person was Mion exactly? Okay. Keiichi probably couldn't even begin to imagine. As if to say it was our little secret. Rena held her finger up to her lips and giggled. As she giggled, Mion finally free from the teacher's preaching, returned to her seat, cradling her head to hide her embarrassment. Ha. This old man. You see, thinks that grade school is enough for everything you need to study for life. Saying that, she plopped down into her seat violently. Mion was actually really feminine. Right. I wonder if I can meet Shion again. I wanted to talk to her again. Alright, bro. Relax. Clang, clang. Yep. The principal waved around the bell that served as the school chime. The teacher rushed back to the blackboard and began to list everyone's homework assignments. Whoa. It looks like there's gonna be a lot of homework today. Gotta buckle down. Well then, that means even Rena? Huh? What do you mean? Appearances can be deceiving. Would that apply to you too? Huh? Keiichi, how do you see me? How? The Rena Ryugu that I knew sometimes took things too far, but was generally a kind and gentle ideal girl. Really? Really? Then that makes me happy, I guess? If she was the opposite of what she seemed, that would make her... And if I were really the opposite? Just try saying it. I won't be mad. That's what I felt she meant. Rena is... Rena is... Even if were the opposite, you'd still be Rena, right? The question shouldn't have been so nerve-wracking to answer. Maybe it was because the person was staring right at me, but even saying that took a strange amount of effort. That's no fair, Keiichi. It bothers me when you say it like that, or say that way. You say it that way, there we go. Perhaps unable to endure my silences. Yo, what's up, Faye? How we doing, feller? Rena's face began to burn red in embarrassment. Rena, Kei-chan, let's go home. Mion walked over and started getting ready to go home. Whenever school is over, she really does get noticeably more energetic. Yeah, because no one wants to be in school, bro. It was the same relaxing walk home as always. Digging around in my pocket, on a whim, I noticed something that should have been there was missing. What's the matter, Kay? The key to my house I always carry is gone. Man, where did I lose it? It's fine today since my parents are home, but still, this is bad. That sure is troublesome. Did you forget it somewhere? Oh, brother. I know that key gonna come back to haunt us, bro. I know that key about to be a problem, dude. Oh, shit. Did you forget it somewhere? Or did you drop it? I know this shit's gonna play a crucial role later on. I already know. Which one was it? Did I take it with me this morning in the first place? Huh? Okay, did that key have anything that would make it stand out? Yeah, it's on a keychain. It was blue fur seal. There you go. I thought it was 4, you know. Something I made for summer homework a long time ago. Huh? Does it have eyes? Does it have its eyes shut like it's taking a nap? Oh, how did you know? Yeah, that's it. Mion looked away and began to whistle. See, you went for dinner at Angel Mart. Wow, okay. Add sound alerts. We can buy channel points with. I do not want to do that. I do not want to do that. I mean, I have alerts on. So you could sub and that'll make some sounds. Yeah, there you go. You're welcome. Oh, man. We went to Angel Mart a couple days ago, right? That night, the staff found a key, and there was a fur seal keychain attached to it. Make it like 100 points. Come on. No. Why would I do that? Like I said, you could sub up and that'll make a noise. There we go. You followed you? Did it not pop up? What the hell? Oh, there we go. There you go. Faye is now a victim. There we go. There you go. Yes, sir. You saw that. You saw that. Faye is a victim. Victim? Yeah. Victim. You see that fucking picture? That's victim, bro. As she said that, she suddenly grew flustered and added that SHION had told her about it. Huh? So I dropped it then, huh? But aren't you glad that they found it? What kind of weeb game is this? One that you eventually die in when that happens. That's the Oni monster from the Japanese horror game thing. Yeah, that's I forgot what it's called. I think it's just called Oni or whatever. But nah, that's what it is. What's up, Tiger Pandas? Why are you still alive? Whoa, crazy ass, bro. MOFS just be playing anything, bro. Yo, imagine, like, yo, think about, like, the sub thing that could be up here if you subscribe, bro. Faye, think about the crazy thing I have for subbing. Yeah, you don't think about that. You didn't think about that. That's only the following. I don't know. I'm wondering myself. Yep. Damn. That's crazy. I'm sure they're looking after it for you. That's right. Why don't you go? SHION looks the same as me, so you'll know her by sight. Oh, yo, it's about to get... I've been following you since... Yeah, you have. I remember playing The Witcher. And I remember playing The Witcher and you were in here. That was like a whole 3-4 years ago, my guy. Damn. If I survived Corona, I could survive this stream. Wow, okay. Wow, okay. I see. Hold on, do I have my chat set? Like, does this work? Oh, shit, there we go. Yay, I forgot about my chat. I forgot I had, like, the chat thing, so I'll put you guys down here. See, now niggas can tell what I'm talking about if they see what I see. Don't say anything crazy, though. Or, actually, I don't really give a fuck. Just don't say, like, anything crazy that won't, like, you know, shut you up on this, fucking Twitch. There we go. All right. This was a rather unexpected development. Once again, I had no choice but to go and meet with SHION. But I also had to thank her for the bento from yesterday. Besides, taking some time and chatting with the other side of Mion might be interesting. Half jokingly, I began to think about things like this. Oh, yo, it's about to get even, like, weebier, by the way, Tiger Pandas. You're about to see some crazy fits, I'm not gonna lie. Right? Angel Mort, was it? I'll head over to SHION's restaurant and get my key back. While I'm at it, having a nice spot of tea... might not be half bad. You sound like an English gentleman. That totally doesn't suit you, Mion. Or K. There we go. Who makes these games? First off, this game, this specific one I'm playing, this Higurashi, is super old. Like, I think they made this shit back in, like, 2000s, like, the early 2000s, bro. And, this is just another adaptation of it. But I will say, this one I think is, like, relatively new. So, yeah. Well, there's a fucking fly in here. It needs to leave. Fucking piece of garbage, man. Shoot. Get the fuck out. The door's right there, fella. Get the fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. Come on. Bro. Bottom right. Bottom right, yeah. You're not going in the bottom right. I'm in the bottom right. You stay your ass in the bottom left, pussy. Like, get the frick out of here. Get the frick out of here, fly. Dude. Anyways, is this the restaurant that the one that Michan's sister is working at? Dude, get the fuck out of here, man. Frick. I'm about to sue. There's a whole door wide open. Get out of here. Anyways, what kind of mental illness do you have to make some stuff like this? Honestly, I don't know, because this isn't even, like, the weirdest part about this game, because, like, you get, like, straight murdered in these games, bro. So it's like, it's not even that crazy yet, bro. There's, like, I don't know, you gotta be some crazy amount of wild, bro, for making these. I'm not gonna lie to you. Frick out of here, fly. Holy fuck. You're still in here. What the fuck is wrong with you? Fuck. Anyways, little sister's working at. Yeah, why don't we go together, Rena? Sorry to disappoint you, but I have plans with my father today. Dude, get the frick out of here, man. The door's fuck open. Honestly, it's like Faye, bro. I know, like, a fucking fly in my ear, bro, talking about, MOFS, read my new chapter. Read my new chapter. No, I'm joking. I actually just haven't read the new chapter yet. Didn't you drop a new one, Faye, recently? that I haven't like read yet. Webcam when? Never. That's when. Absolutely never. I'm not doing face stuff because there's no point in it. You're getting the same funny that you're getting from me now. So, I don't care. Some other time. Runners seemed pretty disappointed about having to miss such a great opportunity. You did webcams? I did not do webcams. I don't know who you're thinking of, but it was not me. I had a webcam border. That's what I had. I had a webcam border with like your fucking Yotsuba in it. I remember those, but that was not a. I didn't have an actual webcam on. Is that fucking fly still in here? That motherfucker's still in here, bro. Fuck. Dude, I had the door wide the fuck open and everything. Get out. Huh. Yeah, I did not. And you do not know what I look like, fella. Disappointed by having to miss such a great opportunity. Son of a bitch, bro. Honestly. Yeah, you did it. You're 100% sure. Well, you're 100% fucking wrong, by the way. You said they're twins, but do they really look that much alike? Enough to mistake which is which? Yeah, they're totally the same. At least on the outside. Unlike Mion, she's well-mannered and actually really cute, though. In response to my teasing, Mion pouted and began to argue with me. Okay, bro. Relax. And I remember I was making fun of your hair. Dog. That was because that was art that Faye made. I remember back then I still had art that Faye made me. That was on the screen. That was not me. Like, the guy that's literally in here with you, Faye, that nigga drew most of my art. The only, like, he didn't draw this art that's on the screen right now. But he's drew, like, 90% of my art. Maybe, like, right now, it's like 60%. But, like, come on. But I never had my face cam on here. In response to my teasing, Mion, yeah, I read that. I couldn't help but burst out laughing at Mion's little farce. After all, they weren't just identical. They were the same person. Where does fucking fly at, bro? I'm about to kill something. After all, they weren't the same person. Okay. Here, I mean, I think, hold on, I got the same picture I used back then. I still have it. Hold on. I'm about to pull it the frick up, bro. Where is it? It's like, I think it was this one. Yeah, it was this one. It was this shit. It was this one. This was like the shit that you were seeing. Like, it wasn't the same face, but like it was like this art. It was this art, okay? That's what I used to use all the time. Okay, but here actually, this is it. This one right here. This is the one I used to use all the freaking time back in the day. And then I had like shit like this. Then I had this one. But I definitely 100% did not show my face before, bro. After going home, I changed my clothes and dug my bike out from the garage. It's fucking fly, bro. I have raid, but I can't spray right now, so. Just thinking that I would be able to meet SHION again gave me a mysterious feeling. SHION, a name for a different kind of Mion. Uh-huh. She was a mysterious and ridiculous person. Believing she had fooled everyone like that. Uh-huh. I noticed that I was pedaling along quite happily. Could it be that I was actually looking forward to meeting SHION? I felt a sense of giddy anticipation, like I was headed toward a new friend's house for the first time. When Rena was about Mion, what Rena said about Mion actually being really feminine sprang to mind once again. Uh-huh. The guilt from spying on another side of Mion, the self-consciousness from being the only one that knew about that side, these feelings mixed together. That was Shion for you. Mion's little twin sister. Until she felt like coming out and admitting she was Mion, it was fine to just keep calling her Shion, right? Mion might be trying to have some fun by acting out a different persona. Maybe. Fucking BO2 flash or BO1 flashbang right there. As I reached the top of the steep hill, the horizon expanded before me, and I was almost at the station. The last time I wasn't embarrassed since I was here with Dad, but this time I was alone. I was strangely self-conscious about it. Meet Shion, get my key back, leave. That was all this task was supposed to be. If I dawdle around like this, maybe Shion would find me before she headed in for work. Hey, what are you doing, Keiichi Mibara? You're just here to get your key back, you know? It's not like you're some love-struck schoolboy here to hand over a love letter. Gosh. The thoughts inside my head were slowly turning into a jumbled mess. I came to the realization that I was downright giddy. That's why, for just a tiny little bit, I got a little carried away and did something really stupid. I kicked over a parked motorcycle. Excuse me? I kicked over a parked motorcycle that was blocking the sidewalk. Oh yeah, bro's about to get like jumped now, bro. It was in the way, sure, but there was absolutely no need for me to kick it. I definitely think I got too carried away. Thunk, clank, crash. As the three bikes toppled over after another like dominoes, the loud noise they caused snapped me back to my senses. Oh shit. The hell do you think you're doing? The owners of those three bikes were right there. They looked exactly like what you would call thugs up to no good. They lifted their heads up in an imposing manner and yelled angrily in a way I had never heard before. The three of them beeline towards me, the worn down heels of their thin-soled shoes slapping noisily against the pavement. I could only stare there listlessly, as if I were watching some far-off event that didn't concern me at all. By the time I realized it, I had been grabbed by the collar and lifted up onto my tippy toes. Done being playing dumb. Oh my god, you knocked him over, didn't ya? Huh? The three thugs were completely ignoring the rules of grammar. By the way they spoke was enough to make me tremble. This is something like Tiger Pandas speak, bro, I'm not gonna lie. Just like that, my composure drained away, my legs buckled, and my throat grew dry enough to crack. I'm sorry, I accidentally... Accident my ass! You kicked it, didn't you, dumbass? I was completely at fault, so there was nothing I could say in my defense. As a result, I was pulled even higher. The hell, man? The paint's all scuffed. Yo, Brett. Who put you up to this, eh? This is your goddamn fault. The three of them continued to yell at me. I had no idea what each of them were saying. Getting further enraged that I was only listening while dumbstruck, they grabbed an empty plastic crate from nearby and began to smash it against a telephone pole. Cracks formed on the crate, plastic shards flying everywhere. They then slammed it full force into the shuttering storefront. Smash. The shutter let out a frighteningly loud noise. Still not satisfied, they flipped over a case of empty cans, scattering its contents all over the place. This was not normal. It was something you saw often on television or in manga, but I never thought seeing it in person would be so terrifying. Thugs. I became painfully aware that the safety of civilized society was only held up by such a frail concept as morals. My knees clattered together noisily. Yo, fucking shiver me timbers ass nigga right here, bro. Static began to pepper my vision. This is what you would call absolute terror. Absolutely not, bro. There's some more effed up shit that happened to this guy than this, bro. There's nothing I could do to stop this frightening spectacle of violence. I could only pray for help. The fear I felt was just too much. Would somebody help me? My gaze floundered about the surrounding area. I was surrounded by these 3 hoodlums. No way would there be a passerby brave enough to intervene. Where the cops at? Maybe this is what you call reaping what you sow. Oh, 100%. Why did you kick over the fucking bikes, yo? If I were a passerby, there would be no doubt I'd ignore what's going on. So this was somewhat of a cosmic retribution. Fucking say something! I'll fucking stab ye! Angry yelling loud enough to rattle my eardrums spewed forth right in front of my face. My waning consciousness was forcefully dragged back to the forefront. I see. The thug had cocked back his free hand and twisted his body, when suddenly a metallic taste filtered through the back of my throat. A chill ran down my spine like a jolt of electricity. I completely forgot I had ads on. My bad. That's how it be, though. Sub up. Seeing what was going to happen next, I squeezed my eyes shut as tightly as possible and gripped my teeth. Yep, bro, about to get beat the fuck up, bro. You're making quite the racket, you stupid pieces of trash. Get out of my sight. That voice was a short distance away. Still holding me by the collar, the 3 thugs spun around to look behind them. Oh shit, it's SHION, quote unquote. The fuck you say? Standing there was SHION. SHION, actually. I mean, Mion. She stood there, displaying an imposing stature that I'd never seen before. She didn't have the same look on her face as she did when we were playing around during club. There were the eyes. Those were the eyes of some that would still fear into anyone who looked upon them. Yep, I can read. The eyes of a raptor. They were the epitome of terror at the same time. They were the most reassuring things in the world. I'll say this one more time. Let go of K and get lost. Mion, without an ounce of fear, laid down her ultimatum. Of course, there was no way those 3 wouldn't go absolutely berserk. The situation instantly turned explosively dangerous. You fucking bitch! I'll fucking bash your head in. You're heading. Stop it, Mion. These guys are like rabid dogs. No amount of bluffing will work. Mion is dangerous. So I knew that what I was saying was pathetic, but I couldn't let Mion get involved in this. Alright, bro. I don't know why you're trying to man up now. No matter how you looked at it, Mion was only bluffing. But did Mion even know the meaning of the word bluff? However, the reason behind everything soon became apparent. They were slowly increasing in number little by little. At first, it was only businessmen on their way home stopping to take a look. Then it was housewives in the middle of shopping taking a gander. Next, what seemed like the owner of some store showed up, and it was pretty clear he wasn't just looking. Around Mion, there was already about 7 people gathered. Oh, they're about to... Hey, bro. Get lost or get jumped. It felt different than people coming out to support a friend. If I had to say, it was because the group that gathered was diverse in age and gender. The 3 thugs seemed to slowly realize that there was something strange about the situation. Who the hell are these guys? Behind them, at some point, 4 more people of differing clothes and ages had gathered. A girl who looked like to be in middle school, a man wearing a bakery apron, an old lady in a house cleaning smock, more and more people of various ages. Their gazes comparable to Mion's were of hostility, of intimidation. Before I realized it, over 10 people had formed a ring around us. At that moment, 5 elementary schoolers ran in and joined the circle. What the fuck are the whatever. There were some familiar faces. Some of our classmates, then some people, then these people were from Hinamizawa, residents of Hinamizawa. More and more people from Hinamizawa gathered around. It's in obvious contrast to the residents of Okonomiya, there we go, were passing by as quickly as possible. The fuck are you guys? Go fuck away! The group surrounded us had suddenly swelled to about 20 people. Completely encircled, the faces of the thugs began to show the first signs of panic. Nobody spoke a word, Mion included. That made everything completely unnatural, and depending on which side you were on, completely terrifying. Only the thugs' voices echoed out like they were screaming. Somebody took a step forward, closing the gap between them. As they did, everyone else took a step forward, and shrinking the circle. Yo, this is weird, bro. This is like mob mentality, bro. Except like it's not, because it's like no one else is joining beside these individuals specifically, bro. The hoodlums went pale as they were pushed together, back to back, while still yelling angrily. They were trying to string together vulgarities, but for some reason it sounded like they were crying out for help. All right. What's going on here? What's going on? It was sudden. A solidly built officer cut his way through the crowd. At some point, 2 police cars had arrived. Some passerby had undoubtedly called for them. Several. Yeah, damn, I can't read, and I blame it on tiger pandas. Burly officers appeared from inside the second vehicle. Oh, officer, good timing. There you go. The extortionist caught red-handed. Please arrest them. The fuck? This Brad's the one that's wrong here. Mion returned. Shit. Mion returned to her usual self, was nonchalantly pointing out the hoodlums to the police. Of course, the thugs were furious. But now that it had come to this, there was nothing they could do. It was their loss. Okay. Come over here for a second. Come on already. The officers handcuffed the thugs and dragged them towards the patrol cars. The fuck, let me go. We're the victims here. Are you listening, damn it? No matter how much of a ruckus they caused, the officers paid no heed. You cannot blame your blind ass on me. Yes, I can. I just did. What are you gonna do about it? Nothing. Exactly. Not a single freaking thing. Yeah, shut up. Yeah, shut up, buddy. If in a blink of an eye they were crammed inside the 2 vehicles, they could still be heard yelling while inside the police cars, but what they were saying was no longer intelligible. Oh shit, it's this guy! Are you all right? Are you injured? He was probably a detective. The man leading the police peered at my face. No, not really. Well, that's a bit of a silver lining then. Well then, have a good year. The portly man, after taking a quick look around, addressed the crowd. Thank you, citizens, for your timely report. Thanks to your efforts, we were able to keep the peace today. It's a wonderful thing. Stupid ass laugh. Thank you for your hard work. Detective Oishi. Oishi? Yeah, Oishi. Yeah, this guy. Damn. As a citizen, I thank you for your daily efforts. It's an honor for a detective from the 1st Division to come out all this way. The way Shion talked didn't have a very pleasant tone. Oh yeah, they weren't friends before either. It was a coincidence. I happened to hear the call over the radio on my way back from the prefectural office. I just made the little detour. Please keep up the good work. I pray for success. I pray for success in your future endeavors. Ah, shucks. It's a good thing there were no injuries, though. Oishi-san, we're done here. Let's go. Well then, have a good year. I'm sorry, could you make way? The detective named Oishi, after jovially making pleasantries, lumbered over to the waiting police car. It quickly set off, disappearing down the street, city street. It was over so quickly. So quickly I was dumbstruck. I didn't even get to ask the officer what was going on. It was like they came here to disperse the mob before any trouble could start. I mean, that's pretty much what they did. I don't know how... That's pretty much what happened, bro. After making sure the police cars had left, Mion snapped her fingers sharply. Alright, that's a wrap. And don't come back. That was the signal. The tension melted away in the instant as everybody began smiling. A middle-aged man helped me up. Are you okay, young Maebara? Next time, pick your fights a bit better. It's not like I wanted to fight. Are you hurt anywhere? If you hit your head, it would be a good idea to get an X-ray taken. An older lady I didn't know the name of was concerned about my injury. You were lucky this happened right in front of the station when it was busy. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to gather as many people. Next time, be more careful. City kids these days are pretty unruly. I was even warned by an old lady in the smock. As Shion finished applauding the dispersing crowd or group for their efforts, she strode over to me. Well, you're pretty good, Kei-chan. But I also think you should be more careful about who you pick a fight with. No. Thanks, Mion. You saved my bacon there. Who's Mion? Shut up. Like I said, I'm Shion. She made a troubled expression as she turned her gaze downward, blushing in embarrassment. Okay. I heard from my sister that fur seal keychain was yours, Casey? Kei-chan? Casey. Oh yeah, that's right. I was just heading to the restaurant. And you ended up feeling so excited that you got mixed up in something weird. Now it was my turn for my face to go red. Alright, bro. I didn't want to admit it, but she was spot on. Well, I was just unlucky. But you really saved me there, Shion. You don't have to thank me. So if you see somebody else getting bullied, help them out, okay? We value that kind of thing here very highly. I was well versed in the sense of camaraderie. But the way I was rescued just now, something seemed a little off about that. Yeah, that seemed like some very like mob cultish type of thing. While I was helped, it was honestly to an almost disturbing degree. Yeah. You're coming into the restaurant, right? You must be tired, so why don't you relax for a bit? My treat. Seems that she caught the glimmer of suspicion in my eyes. Without waiting for my answer, Shion began walking. Is this the end of the chapter? I don't know. Okay. After cooling off a bit inside the restaurant, little by little I realized I was still on edge. No, get this fraud out of here, bro. Get these bots. Clanker, bro. Clanker. Ew. I spitting on you, bro. Get the fuck out of here. Clanker, honestly. You automaton. Fuck. There were spots here and there on my body that hurt. Probably because I had been so stiff with nervousness. Shion, who had changed into her uniform, brought over 2 glasses of iced coffee. Alright, Tiger Pandas, you're about to see some absolute weeb shit. There we go. There's the weeb shit, bro. Here you go, iced coffee on the house. This is the true freaker deeker shit, bro. Just bring this coupon with you to the register and it'll be no charge. My patheticness really knew no bounds. But since she went through the trouble, I might as well take her up on the offer. Even though it had started out as such a lovely day, I had to get carried away and do that stupid thing. Of course your fat ass likes this. I definitely do not like this, bro. That is a child, sir. Don't fucking get it twisted. I'm only playing this game because it has horror in it, bro. You should have been there for the last time the last chapter, which is a whole different game. The nigga gets murked by this lady right here. Come on. But really, you really saved my hide there. Yeah, this lady murders us in the last chapter of the game. So yeah, hey, bro, that's what I wanted. That's what you should have been here for. But guess what? You weren't, huh? Fucker. I've really come to see you as reliable. Even I was scared, but Kei-chan was in trouble, so I had to be brave and do my best. While a little embarrassed by what she just said, SHION made a show of folding her arms boldly. SHION, really, thank you. I was thanking SHION, but I really wanted to thank Mion. Mion, really, thank you. Now then, cheer up a little. If you feel indebted, then when you have the chance, you should help somebody in need. For example, if I'm ever in trouble, please come and save me. I don't know. Yeah, of course. It's a promise. Yeah, sure. You absolutely have to. Yeah, okay. Taking advantage of my words, she seemed happy about my promise. So if I'm ever in trouble, Kei-chan will come in and save me. Yeah, I hope trouble is coming soon. You finally smiled, she said as she smiled herself, poking me in the cheek. A downtrodden Kei-chan is as good as an imposter. Come on, smile, smile. The tickle. Shut up, bro. Shut up. Stop. Thanks to SHION's meddling, I finally cheered up a little. All the muscles in my body that had stiffened because of the incident finally began to relax a little. When you're in a better mood, don't you get a little hungry? I'm kind of hungry, so I want to eat some pancakes or something. Do you want some too? Okay. I wanted to show a little restraint, but restraint wasn't really my thing. I replied without any. They're good, right? I'm pretty picky when it comes to pancakes. Don't worry. Our pancakes have a pretty good reputation. SHION ordered some pancakes from a nearby waitress. An employee ordering from another employee seems a kind of weird. Hey, speaking of that, wasn't SHION in the middle of a shift? She's just been slacking off while talking to me. I told my uncle that you saved me when I was surrounded by hoodlums, so he's rewarding you. So I have the manager's permission. Yeah, okay. That's exactly the opposite of what happened. Is that all? Is that all right? There we go. Words. It's perfectly fine. By the time the pancakes arrived, we had entered into a very relaxed conversation. As the two of us ate pancakes, we livened the mood with some chit-chat about what was on TV, celebrities, you know, that kind of thing. Hobbies, food, really nothing more than idle chit-chat. Talking together like this, I once again became conscious of SHION being a girl. Hey, now. That's funny talk, Keiichi Maebara. SHION and Miura are the same person. If there was anything different between them, it was only whether or not Mion admitted she was Mion. But given that, how come our conversation was this different? Okay, Chan, you don't think of my sister as a girl, do you? That's not true. If she were a guy, I'd punch the living daylights out of her. I think the real reason you guys get along so well is because you have that kind of platonic relationship. That's a pretty rare and enviable thing to have, don't you think? I don't get what you're saying, but it really would be a waste to treat her like a girl. Hey, Keiichi, that's sexist. Nah. Now, my fist equally punching her as I would punch a guy, that's not sexist right there. See, me punching her only is sexist because I'm not including punching guys, you know? See, if I was just a domestic abuser, bro, or a, like, if I just beat women, right? Then I'm sexist because there's a whole gender, you know, some people genders, then I'm not punching either. So, like, I don't know. Oh, I just made that whole entire thing while there was an ad. I'm gonna say it again when the ad ends. Hearing the word sexist was cause for introspection. Nah, y'all missed the craziest thing I just said, bro. That's all I gotta say. Sub up, and I said some crazy shit about sexism, bro. In terms of, hey, bro, if I was sexist, I would just be punching one gender. You know, like, that's how it be. What was a prejudice against Mion and Shion for? Mion was Mion. She was the best friend a guy could have. No reservations, and head and shoulders above me when it comes to club activities. If I had met her 5 years earlier, my life would have probably been a lot more fun. Of this, I had no doubt. Then what about Shion? She was Mion's little sister, and it hadn't even been 3 days since we met. Her relationship was much more distant, as the one thread we had in common was that I knew her sister. And for Shion, you probably gooned to this. Never in my life have I thought about that. And for Shion, it was the same. I was somebody she met 3 days ago only because I was a friend of her sister's. Hey, bro, you can project all you want. I just don't agree with what you're saying, bro. That's all I gotta say. The difference between Mion and Shion? Friendliness? Familiarity? Playing around with those unclear thoughts for a while I had... No, while, and there was a comma. I had stopped listening to Shion. Hypothetically, okay. Are you listening? Sorry. Yeah, I'm listening. This is just a hypothetical question, okay? Both me and my sister are in trouble, okay? We're dangling off the side of a cliff. Which one do you save? You can only save one. She wasn't saying it to tease me, but had a playful tone behind her voice. Can I choose neither? That's not a nice question. I want to save you both, but I can't do that, right? Right. You can only save either Shion or Mion. Who do you save? If it were Mion, I don't think she'd be in that situation in the first place, as it's something she could easily get herself out of. But what about it? The normal, frail Shion. I guess I'd have no choice. It's not my sister, right? If Mion and Shion were different people, I suppose it would come to that. I couldn't confirm or deny it. She should have been smiling, but her gaze was locked firmly on mine. In other words, that's it, isn't it? My sister is... Huh? Sorry, I messed up what I was trying to say. Mion was trying to talk in a lighthearted manner, but I felt that there was something more behind her words. Was Mion trying to tell me something through Shion? Not being able to put a finger on exactly what it was vexing. Shion, to hide her embarrassment, turned the conversation around. More importantly, just now. Were you surprised? When everybody kept on showing up. Of course I was. If I were Reno or Sadako, that would have been one thing. But for all those people, young and old together, they were all from Hinamizawa, right? Yeah, that's right. Everybody in Hinamizawa is pretty close-knit. An enemy of an enemy of one is the enemy of all. Holy fuck, bro. Again, Tiger Pandas, what the fuck are you doing to causing me to, like, read improperly like this, bro? Fuck off. Anyways. Nobody is going to look on from the sidelines. They're a pretty reliable group of residents. If somebody is being picked on, then everybody unites to get rid of the bully. It kind of sounds like the Mafia or the Yakuza's brand of unity. You shouldn't say something like that. It's something you should be thankful for. You were saved by that unity, weren't you? Never forget to show your appreciation. Yeah, I half-heartedly agreed. I knew full well I should be appreciative. Everybody really is close-knit, huh? Aren't they? Maybe it's because of tradition. It's your fat ass getting a cholesterol attack. More like your dumb ass won't shut up. And it's throwing me off because you have to keep existing. Maybe it's because of tradition. Hinamizawa has been in danger of becoming a ghost town on several occasions. There's been a history of villagers uniting together each time to fight for the village's continued existence. See, this is what your body does to keep you alive. It literally just fights, like, every once in a while, all together, to continue your existence, you know? You're an American, so you don't have right to talk. You don't either, bro. You don't either. Where are you from again? Where are you from again? Tiger Pandas, what country again? See, if it's not like, you know, a well-known country, I don't give a fuck, bro. For example, Kei-chan, did you know about the Hinamizawa Dam Project? Oh, this is how we learned in this one? Hinamizawa Dam Project. Let's see, I feel like I've heard somebody talk about it before. About 10 years ago, there was a sudden proposal to build a dam here, which would have submerged Hinamizawa underway. Oh, you're from Germany? Yeah, you have no right to talk to me, bro. We beat your ass in a war. I don't really care. Yeah, we cooked your ass in a war. We'll do it again, too. I don't want to hear nothing from you. Small timers, bro. Small timers. Don't make us go glass your country, buddy. Don't make us do it. Don't make us do it, bro. Give us a reason. We'll do it. You're like right over there near the current war, bro. We'll just move. We'll just move to the other side. Go take out Germany again. Don't make us do it. Don't make us do it. All that story. I think I heard my dad talk about that again. Nah, that's funny. But I'm pretty sure that the plan was canceled, right? We made them cancel it. Everybody banded together. So that was a well-earned victory. That sounded pretty much like a story I heard. Like the story I heard. The protest intensified to the point where it was featured in newspapers and magazines. As a result, the plan was suspended. The whole story with the dam project apparently started before I was born. Okay. At first, the proposal was only for exploratory purposes. Or a small dam to control erosion. But then it became a big-ass thing. Yep. But then the cat was let out of the bag. It was... If it were completed, it would have been the biggest dam in Japan. Not just Hinamizawa, but several villages upstream would have been submerged as well. Yup. The protests immediately began. Petitions to cancel or relocate the project were drafted and submitted to the Diet. They even went as far as to go to the Ministry of Construction in Tokyo to hand over a direct appeal to the minister. The previous landowner sued the government, stating there were inconsistencies in the purchase agreement and the transaction should be nullified. Owners of yet unacquired land split their properties, increasing the number of landowners in order to stifle the project. It was all precious. It was all very precious when the land acquisition was still about money. Eventually, they started relying on eminent domain in order to seize land. It started at that point. The riot police began to get violent. Riot police? You mean the police? Why would they act violent? They punched. They kicked. There was a time I was hit. Right around here, I think. My skin split open and a whole lot of blood spilled out, saying that Shion indicated her temple by poking at it. Damn. What happened to the police? Filing a complaint against the riot police for police brutality would seem kind of strange for some reason. Naturally, they wouldn't pay heed to something like that. You wouldn't be able to establish proof on who exactly hit you. And they could justify their actions by saying you were interfering with police duties. My Nana went off like a firework. After that, it was amazing. Like a full-scale war. We weren't just going to sit by and idly file complaints. We went on the offensive. We started killing cops, is what they're saying. First, in order to call attention to the government, they filed a temporary injunction in court. Then, in order to gain public support, they called in a prominent scientist to state that Hinamizawa was a valuable nature preserve. They pressured the prefectural and municipal assemblies, saying that the prefectural government or governor ignored his constitutions when he approved the project and demanded his resignation. They completely and thoroughly denounced him. Damn. Naturally, in Hinamizawa, a ferocious conflict worthy of being called the Damn War began. That sounds like a fucking action anime fucking backstory fucking for the whole verse. In order to suppress the police's brutality, they coordinated with the network channels and exposed the violence of the riot squad members to the police. On top of that, they put together a special expose themed around the government repressing the citizens and aired it nationally. Oh, bro. The politicalness, bro. Can we get back to the murderousness? It worked wonders. Following that, the SWAT teams had their hands cuffed. Day after day, the petitions and demonstrations continued. Propaganda was used to help garner support. The circle of support gradually expanded outwards from Hinamizawa. Either that bore fruit, or the government finally decided against it. It was announced that the dam project was indefinitely suspended just a few years ago. We did everything we could. The entire village banded together and fought. At that time, we were desperate, but now that it's over, it's actually become a pretty good memory. The villagers' feelings of solidarity and unity still haven't faded. Shion said that as she focused off into the distance. I felt that those eyes weren't filled with anguish, but rather a sense of pride. That kind of solidarity is pretty nice. You don't see it too often. Bridging the generational gap and unifying the region. I think so too. The dam project was a trial. I think that just the fact that we were able to overcome it is huge. Okay. The fear I was feeling until just now gradually began to fade. When people began to show up one after another while I was engaged with those thugs, I thought I was frightened. Or I thought it was frightening. There we go. But now I felt from the bottom of my heart that I had been rude. The villagers prepared to defend their homeland to the death. The sense of solidarity that fostered. It might seem impudent to say this, but I was a little jealous. Wow, jealous. If I had been in Hinamizawa when the protest against the dam was going on, I might have been able to share in that sense of solidarity. Okay, you weren't here at the time, so I don't think you fully feel the solidarity in the village, but everyone shares it thoroughly. even with someone who just moved here like you, Kay. She couldn't have been more right. So many people got together to help me out when I was just moved here. Even though it was your fault, by the way. Even though they were strangers whose names I didn't even know. A hot feeling began welling up inside me. Okay. When I lived in the city, I didn't even know my own neighbors. I thought that was natural. But here, that was an absurd and pathetic thing. Even though I thought of them as strangers, all of the other villagers viewed me as a comrade. Happiness and warmth. I was actually aware of those feelings as they gradually welled up inside of me. Okay. Sonozaki-san, the manager wants you to work the floor. A more senior waitress waved her hand and called out for Shion. It seemed like it was time for work. Okay, I'm coming. Sorry. Looks like I have to get to work now. It's fine. Thanks for hanging out with me. It was fun. Oh, are you going home? Yeah. My mom gets fussy if I'm not home by dinner time. It seemed that Shion wanted to say something, but she swallowed her words. Like we hadn't talked enough, that kind of feeling. Looking at that expression, I regretted saying something that had disappointed Mion like that. I was about to say that I could stay for a little bit longer when Shion got up from her seat. Here, if you use the coupon, it should cover the pancakes as well. Saying that, she showed me a coupon booklet. She tore out a few sheets and handed them to me. Convenient, isn't it? It's a perk I get on top of my salary. It's okay. I can pay for the pancakes myself. Hey. Being so reserved doesn't fit you, Kei-chan. If I were my sister, you would have gladly let me pay for it. She said as she laughed, gently stopping me from opening my wallet. Being told so with such an encouraging smile really resounded with me. Sonozaki, sorry, could you take care of the register? Yes, right away. Didn't they want her to work the floor earlier? What the fuck is this? Later. Today was fun. Saying that, Shion smiled at me one more time. Oh, Mion, okay, bro. Come on. Get to the horse bogey stuff! Come on! Damn! Thanks for a lot. Thanks a lot for today. I owe you one. Get to murdering people. Come on. If you really think that, then return the favor. I'm looking forward to it. After I said it, I realized I mistakenly called her Mion. I don't think she realized it or not. I want to see motherfuckers die. That's what I want to see. At nighttime. In the crib. Lazing around and watching television after dinner was part of my daily routine. It might seem like a waste of time, waste at first glance, but you could say it was an important time when I was able to accrue knowledge of everything from politics and economics to various trivia. After dinner was valuable time well spent, while the brain was at its most supplied with nutrients. You idiot! It's obvious that Tokyo Tower is taller. Ads. Today I tested my knowledge of trivia by watching my weekly quiz show. Sitting in front of the television, I was able to get a lot of the answers right. But if I were actually up on stage, I'd probably fail miserably. Keiichi, phone call from Sonozaki-san. Okay. Sonozaki, that's Mion. It was a little late for her to be calling. I had a bad feeling about this. I had a hunch it had something to do with club activities. She was probably going to inform me about what we were doing tomorrow. This was Mion we're talking about. She might even go so far as to say we're doing club activities right now, so hurry up and come over. By the way, it's 8 p.m. Hello? Nowhere we're having a club battle right now. Huh? That's not it. I mean, it was Mion, but it was a very un-Mion-like way of talking. Huh? Could it be? Sorry, could it be that you're not Mion, but Shion? That's right. Good evening. I'm sorry for calling so late. For Mion, this would have been an ill-fittingly polite way of talking, but since it was Shion, it was natural. Even though they were both the same person. With a dry smile, I enjoyed that mysterious feeling. Nah, it's fine. What's up? Kei-chan, do you like sweets? Like cakes or desserts? There was no way I hated them. I'm an unabashed glutton. That's great. Actually, there's a new dessert contest this summer. Looks like they have a new dessert menu every season. So they were hiring taste testers for potential desserts. The desserts at Angel Marts has a great reputation, or have greater reputation. Okay. It's pretty difficult to get accepted as a taste tester. I'll get right to the point. Ta-da! You say ta-da, but I can't see over the phone still. Could it be? That's right. I have a taste testing ticket right here. If you don't mind sweets, how about it? When you say how about it, you basically mean, with that ticket, I can eat all the new desserts I want. They say to beware of honey pots, but this is sweeter than any pot of honey. Okay, bro. All you can eat free dessert? No way. If you're okay with that, I'll register you as a taste tester. When you come to the restaurant tomorrow, just give the person in charge your name. Then eventually, then everything will work out. When you say everything will work out, you mean all you can eat? For real? For free? Yeah, it's free. There's quite a bit, so I recommend you come hungry. This was such a delectable opportunity, it was almost scary. This was really Shion, right? If it wasn't Mion posing as Shion in order to bait me into a trap, was it? What am I saying? They're the same person. Yeah. I know exactly what you're thinking, Kei-chan. You're thinking that this is too good to be true, right? I mean, I would never. Huh. I heard from my sister, but you're really somebody who can't tell a lie. I'm not averse to somebody like that. Shion laughed with a voice that sounded a lot like Mion would laugh. Okay. It's not like I was intending on it, but it just so happened that my shift ends early tomorrow. If it's not a bother, I thought maybe we could spend a little time together after I'm done. Your shift ends early tomorrow. Yeah. So while you take your time eating desserts, I'll finish up. Well, I didn't have any plans anyways. I don't mind hanging out with you for a bit. It's not like we have to go anywhere. I was thinking we could cool off in the evening while we take a walk. Yeah, okay, take a walk, as in kill you. That's what it is. There was no reason for me to refuse. Of course, out of courtesy, I might as well take up on her offer. By the way, Kei-chan, you and I have been meeting up every day, haven't we? Now that you say it, I guess we have. Since you said okay, we have an excuse to meet again tomorrow. Huh? What was Mion saying? Kei-chan, your voice is cracked. What's the matter? It wasn't a video phone, but she could tell I was beat red. Well then, you should definitely come tomorrow. I'll take my leave here. Good night. Good night, man. She unfinished with that, with what she had called to say, ended the conversation without even chit-chat. Without any chit-chat. When I returned to the living room, after hanging up the phone, the TV was already off and my mom was sleeping on the rocking chair. Not feeling like turning the TV back on, I went back upstairs and returned to my room. I've only been receiving favors from Shion, haven't I? She bought me a bento, saved me when I got involved with those thugs. She was supposed to be a different person so I could thank Mion at school. Come to think of it, she'd probably just say she'll pass it on to her sister. I have to thank Shion directly. Tomorrow, I'll have to repay her somehow. Oh, okay. Damn, this is a chunky fucking part, bro. Holy shit. We still yapping. Yeah, let's go. Let's go. Finally, the little little minute, like the chapter inside the chapter is done. So now I can end my stream. All right. I had fun making fun of you, Tiger Pandas. I don't think I'm gonna go live tomorrow because I got a couple things to do.